Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Broadcast Show. Heroclix something that rewind.
Incoming transmission.
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
A stranger
Can mean danger. Now I know.
and knowing is half the battle.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the PBJ Heroclix PSA. Tonight we have with us my co-host Paul Cote. Say hello, Paul.
Hello.
And then you have me, your wonderful host of Heroclix content, Brad. Did I say my name? Full name? Brad Boyles. Yeah, we'll go with that. No rewinding. Going forward. Tonight's episode. Uh, we wanted to go over worlds, specifically the side events mostly, and then also I do want to touch on tarot cards again. I think that's a mechanic that we have to keep getting people to think about. It's not going to go away for at least 2 years. Something I thought about before I went to sleep this morning, Paul, was the X of Swords, the storyline stuff. I It's been a while since I participated in a storyline event, but uh, I can't remember. Does that storyline stuff maintain the same legality as the uh, regular five booster sets for rotation, or does that get an extra year?
The only one I played in was Regenesis, and that had the same rotation as XDPS.
Okay. And did it have the same legality for like it became legal the next month, or was it just legal the next week after it was released?
Oh man, I don't remember. I don't think there was any major tournaments during that time.
Genesis
That
came out in what, 2020 or 2019?
Genesis.
No, it came out in 2018 because I started playing back in 2020.
Oh no! Never mind. That had WKOs that came out right afterwards. That's right. Because for a while you could play Beast off of the ID. Yeah, that's right.
That's why I was taking a break because I was not a fan of ID cards. Sidetracked. So I want to talk about the side events, and I think you also are interested in the side events too, right?
I think that because the Six of Swords event is you it's much better. Regenesis basically had stuff of the ID, and that's why I'm having trouble remembering about Regenesis because there was just so little that had impact. Um, and that is not the case for X of Swords. There's going to be a lot going on there that is good for casual play and competitive play, especially for competitive play. Um, so I think that is a huge draw in going to Worlds and actually caring about the side events at Worlds.
No, I love that they are doing side events for Worlds. I think it's great. And everybody should at least if they don't plan on being at the final table for Worlds at the end of the day Sunday, you might want to bring an extra team along, just in case you want to try something different. You know, when you get to Worlds or a big event, you might find yourself getting burnt out of the meta. I know you might be there for the 300 modern tournament, but uh, I don't know. It's fun to shake things up. And, there's uh, it's just it's and these are fun formats that they provided. let's see, it's Extreme Tarot, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Scenario Popper. Is that it? No, it's the Exosword Slap. That's also a side event that will be
Did
going
you
on.
say silver?
Oh, and Silver Age. I missed that one. And then also Dice Masters if you want to hook up your friends or other people with Dice Master stuff that can't attend the Worlds for Dice Masters. But yeah, um, it's just a crazy amount of side events. They've never really done this for Worlds, if I recall. At least they didn't do it when I went. For me, it was just grinders, battle royals, and then teams, and then the 300 modern series. You know, BRs are fine. Teams is expected. That's usually fun, unless you all pull doo doo. But I think, in case nobody out there paid attention, they updated the uh, what's the word? The process for Team Sealed. Previously, you they would just break down a brick, and then each team would get 6 boosters. But they are now doing 10 boosters for a team to build out of, which I think is great. It just hurts my wallet a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, it's because nothing feels worse than getting the 6 boosters with the rares, and then the other team getting the 3 super rares and a chase or prime, and then getting the next brick and getting a chase and a prime or a super rare. So they got the sweet under both bricks, which is awesome.
Yeah, there's a little more, uniform as to how many chases and how many super rares you're gonna get to build between. So I think this is a great set to. I I'm really glad that Exoswords is the set that's come out, and Disney Plus is what we're expecting to be a lot of the prizing. Or no, it has been listed as a lot of the prizing.
Mhm.
They're both really good sets. I'm actually very surprised that a lot of people are negative on Exoswords. I think as far as like I get that the chases were a bit of a dud, but as far as so there's usually at least a few um, uh, huge like 200-point characters in sealed that just throw off the format.
Yeah.
DPS had a lot of these. I am well, what are the ones in this format that do so? They seem to all be
Uh,
smaller,
the
like
the
Saturday.
chase apocalypse I think is the big worry in this set.
Yeah, I mean that sure.
But
Okay.
I know some players when it comes to sealed, it's a whole different format than 300 modern. And when you're playing in a formal tournament or a formalized tournament, people are playing for the prize and not just playing for the booster. You could beat an apocalypse team just by scoring more than the rest of the team that he has. So if you score more than 100 points and you score and he scores less than 100 points, he can beat his team all day long. Uh,
Also, a Mirror Master Blade is a rare, so I mean it's
yeah.
not out of the possibility that
Oh yeah. I expect
choose
the
that with the Mirror
uh,
Master Blade.
I expect almost half the bricks to have Wolverine and my Massive Blade. So
Yeah, he's a rare, so you're. I mean, you don't know the way it's going to be is there's going to be 3 teams, and it's going to be random as to which teams you play. So if you only have one Mirror Mousa Blade against one Apocalypse, it's only a third chance that you're going to face that. But
yeah.
I mean, that's still a decent chance. I guess Merlin at 150 points.
Uh,
is good.
I'm more
As
concerned
you get a
about
feel
all
for.
the pod makers than I am about the 150 point, 200 point guys.
Right, and you're not likely to have like a Saturnine plus a Merlin. I don't know. It's definitely not a 300 point Dark Phoenix if you've ever faced that in sealed. That's a
That sounds
oh,
awful.
that's a team.
And she was
There's
just a
not much
rare,
outplay.
right?
There's not much outplay you can do against a 300 point Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, 10 range, colossal reach, colossal size.
And heals every time it kills your figures, and sometimes twice when it does more than 4 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's bad.
in this particular set, I'm worried about the pog makers. If you face a team that is just making a lot of pogs, probably you'll lose against that team. I played against Arcade and Honey Badger, and I almost lost that match, like 150 to 130.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like if we finished it out, I probably would have lost, I think.
Right.
But yeah, that arcade is a trap. That Nimrod is pretty scary. That I played two pod makers in that tournament, Nimrod and
Mm.
arcade, and that was super annoying, having to kill the pogs and not get any points, and then it's just beating up my team. Uh,
Yeah.
this set has the most amount of pogs ever in a set, in a main set. I think there was like 25 pogs in the set. Uh,
Sure.
and the only other set that had more was Fear itself. And most of that was in the starter.
Sure. And those are good for sealed. Yep. Okay. Um. Yeah. I think that there's a lot of value hidden despite not in Exoswords, despite not having amazing chases because the tarot cards are some of them are selling for $20 easily.
Mhm.
And you get like five of those in a brick, usually
On
four
average,
to six.
anywhere from 3 to 7 is what I was saying. On the low end to the
Oh,
high end.
okay, sure, sure. You get quite a few of those. Here's another thing. People like I've heard some like negativity of like you only need five tarot cards or whatever. Sorry to go on a little bit of a tangent, but
No?
I actually think that the blank tarot cards, the ones that aren't incredibly impactful, are incredibly valuable because I have been putting a few essentially blank cards in decks, and I think that the my opponent has an when I see nothing insanely good for me, I'm worried that yeah, I guess I could use a sidestep of three. If you're only like meh about a sidestep of three, your your opponent could be a bomb for them.
Yeah.
So
No,
in
yeah,
some
that makes
cases, I
sense.
have put cards that. So I want to collect also the kind of the eh cards, the Leap Climb cards or whatever that's a bad example. The +1 to running shot card that's just less impactful than some of the other insanely powerful ones.
No, yeah, that makes sense, because if it doesn't really add value to your team, and that's uh, that's very subjective, and that's something that I had to keep telling people. That I keep asking is like, which tarot cards do I need to get? I'm like, there's too many, and it's tarot. You should never build your team around tarot cards unless it's mission points, and even then,
Right.
uh, mission points itself is not a mechanic that you should specifically build around to win your games. It
Right.
should just be an extra. It'd be really cool if it happens, but you really should try to figure out the more practical winning strategy for your team. Uh, Like when you say
The
the mech cards, are you also talking about like the mission point cards that really don't add too much to your team, just so you have a quote unquote point card?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I can see that. If we go over the team that I'm trying to play, I have the High Priestess. That's a great card. Ace of Cups. That's a great card. I have a lot of Super Senses on my team. I have a lot of Sidestep on my team for the Nine of Pentacles. The one that I'm not sold on is the Queen of Swords. I would like to have critical hits, but I have a lot of super senses on my team, and I to would not like to give my opponent the chance to also make me not be able to use that.
Hmm.
So maybe I need to look at Queen of the Sword card to maybe find a blank or a less than lesser card.
Yeah, one that's not gonna just like win games, but it's just kind of that's nice. That's neat. Um,
Uh, Now, some of these cards you probably do not want to add to your team because it might actually help your opponent, like the Final Swords when they super strength and they give them an object to hold. That doesn't help me at all, but that might actually help my opponent.
right, right. You want something incredibly mild.
Incap, that could be good. Nobody's really using Incap, but they might start to with
Oh, I'm using that card for sure in one of my teams.
is it does that have to do with the lasso of
Lasso,
truth? Yeah,
Lasso, and Scarab. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like that card's gonna get a little bit more play now. Let's see the persistent
For
strike
sure.
card. Nope, don't want that one.
Oh, the
Uh,
Precision Strike card is nasty. That
yeah,
is nasty.
that's a great card. I do not want to play against that card ever. The
Right.
TK card that actually could be good. I have Chip on my team, so yeah, that and the
But yeah,
final.
you have to ask yourself not only how much can I use this card, but how much will it screw me if my opponent uses it against me?
Yeah,
That was what I'm saying.
yeah. I think that would be the card I might swap out to is the Knight of Swords instead of the Queen of Swords, just because I don't want to be crit hit against, and I don't.
Mhm.
It doesn't really matter too much for the TK. The King of Swords might be good for me. Uh, Attack roll doubles, remove an axe token afterwards. Yeah, that seems fine. Uh, but my team has those eeny meeny guys, and they're probably my main attackers besides Flash. And so they're never really gonna have an action token on themselves. So yeah,
Right.
that's uh, my view on tarot cards keeps changing after almost every conversation when it comes to how to play them because like I said earlier, it's so subjective on how you want to build. Do you want to build completely defensively? Do you want to have just a bland card so it doesn't hurt you? Do you want to go completely aggro where you don't care if it hurts you because you want to hurt them just as bad?
Right. So when they're asking, when people are, there are a few people that are under the assumption that there's going to be like a few meta cards that get played all the time. I don't think that's. I think there's going to be a wide variety of cards that get played. You might want the Empower card. That's not
Yeah,
really going to be.
like I do see the
Probably really.
high priestess get played a lot, but that's something that if your team doesn't have it on there, then you don't want that card.
Yeah. Right. 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 Exactly. It's really good. But is it really good for your opponent? Is it better for your opponent than it is for you? Which in some cases it definitely could be.
And something that I thought about a long, long time ago when they introduced this was that you don't have to play a deck at all. You can just play with your opponent's deck. uh,
Exactly.
if you have a good idea what your team does and what the field is going to be, then you can just build accordingly. And be able to just go to any situation at any given time and be able to handle it without
Right.
giving your opponent an edge or without hurting your team.
So the meta is a little, yeah, it's kind of settled. No, it's not. There's enough
No.
that is. There's enough that is.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like we had a good idea of the meta, and then there wasn't just enough in Exoswords to add some variety, some chaos to the mix. But if you expect if you expect like a whole, if you're not playing a pickup power and you're expecting 80% of the field to have pickup powers, you know, like Sakari Iron Man. Thanos is a Thanos, Sakari Iron Man, and
Hope Summers.
Hope Summers. But I was gonna say Jim Jaspers.
Yeah,
That's essentially a pickup power because you're picking an equipment, which is basically pickup power in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. That's fair.
'Cause the equipment has powers on it, so you
Yeah.
can have Carnage symbiote to give yourself plasticity and shape change anytime you want. That's a pickup power, in my opinion. So those are like three of. I have those as the top three figures in the meta. I think you could argue Molecule Man or a bunch of other things, but like, so if you expect like everything to be pickup powers and you don't have them, I don't think it's an insane idea to not play a tarot deck.
Mhm.
I don't think that's insane. I think that's fine.
Yeah, if you think it's going to help your opponent, then and the team that you want to play doesn't exactly need the tarot deck, then you can just not play it. That's kind
That's
of what people are saying about trouble alerts and troublemakers and ID cards, uh, and resources. They can enhance your team. They can help put your team over the top, but it's not necessarily required.
right, but you know, you probably want to put a tarot deck.
Yeah,
Probably want
it's
to collect the tarot cards so that you have the option of it because they're really strong.
yeah, just it's more than likely you're going to have a tarot card that can help your team. Uh, just to win more is I think that's what people called it with the troublemakers. That
Yes,
it just
they will win. Mm-hmm. They will win more mechanics
yeah
because they came in after you killed something, or sorry, after you hit 3 times or critical hit.
uh, but so that was a tangent.
Yeah, we were on the subject. The subject we were supposed to be on was side events, and I was
Uh,
just saying that the value of the current sets increases um, increases my interest in the side events.
yeah,
So
because the pricing for half of these side events are tarot cards. Whether that's you play the Exosword Battle Royals or the Exosword slot, or some of the actual non-Exosword stuff is the pricing is a full set of tarot cards. The Extreme Tarot scenario, that's a full set of tarot cards. I think the Popper format, also a full set of tarot cards. Yeah.
and that kind of saves the fact that some of the pricing is recycled and it was old pricing,
Yeah,
um, which is
that's
unfortunate, but
awful. Uh, but
it's also understandable because they've been kind of on a high. They we it's a COVID. Let's put it this way. COVID happened. There was like a 2 year gap. If this keeps happening, like if this happens next year, I would be pissed. The reason I'm not pissed is because I'm giving them a COVID pass.
yeah, or no, it does suck. I think we can almost all agree that it's not great that they could have done things differently, but they
Were
could.
they supposed to like create pricing, not sure of when they would You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. No, they didn't know they were going to do Worlds this year, and they have to plan the production at least 1 year ahead to actually get things in motion. A lot of the stuff actually takes 2 to 3 years because one, they have to go to Marvel or go to DC and say, "Hey, we would like to do a work with this particular story or this IP or intellectual property," and then they have to pay for it because that's how licenses work. If it's a really popular thing, they have to pay even more for it, or they have to negotiate and do all that stuff. And then after that, they have to go to the people in China and say, "Hey, we want to make less, or we want to make more." And then they go. There's two different factories that they go to that they seem to alternate, by the way. Uh, uh, I don't know if that's for a competition thing to see
Yeah.
whichever one can get the better price, whatever. But that's beside the point. But it's a whole ordeal before the figures actually get made, and that takes a
Yeah.
whole lot of time and a whole lot of money before the figures actually get made. And they didn't know if they were going to do Worlds this year. They've been holding off on what do you call it? Production and or for sales or releasing a lot of these LEs. Like a lot of this stuff was 2020 and 2021. My biggest gripe was that they could have sold all this stuff last year online or the last 2 years. They've been selling other stuff online. People, well, people pay full value MSRP on this stuff long after it's already been out in the wild. The like the master mold at the store costs $125, but you can buy it on the secondhand market for $70, $80. And it's people will just go to Wizkids just because they know that they can get the product and pay out the butt for it. But yeah, the pricing does suck. But and I feel like they could add more pricing to it because some of the figures on here for the pricing for worlds and teams, I don't see some of the figures that they previewed for the 2022 releases. The Warp World Phoenix, whatever that's called.
Mhm.
I don't see that anywhere as pricing. Uh, and there's a couple of others as well. Speaking of, I don't know. I don't know if you're much of a conspiracy theorist, Paul, but they left off the designer figure. I think that's the pricing anybody that's competing wants the most.
They added it back in.
What's that?
Added it back in.
Yes, but was it an oversight, or did they do it because of the pressure from the community? That's the
Are you
question.
going to become a conspiracy theories podcast? Because I'd love to do that. I'm all for that. I have
uh,
lots of conspiracy theories.
uh, it's just an interesting thing. What side do you think? Was it the community that pushed WizKids to do it, or was it an oversight?
I am going to I'm going to lean towards in competence rather than malice. No, so the reason why I think that it is an oversight is because how quickly they changed it, and it feels like if it was if they didn't have it scheduled, I don't know how long it would take for them to come to that decision, but it doesn't seem like something that they'd be able to figure out like within hours. That's why I
Yeah,
think it's an oversight.
that's fair.
Found I
Yeah,
don't have
because
any.
like I said, like I mentioned earlier, the process it takes to do all this involves contracts and licensing and stuff. So more than likely, it was an oversight in competence. Uh, they the people at WizKids, there aren't enough employees. It seems like that they are putting too much responsibility for each employee that's doing this. Not what's the word? Uh, having specific assignments. Uh,
Right.
there's always talk that Wizkids is a small company, but they make millions of dollars, so that doesn't seem very small to me. But that's the part I'm not 100% familiar with. What's considered small, but it does. There's always it's always been something. The last I don't know 7, 8 years, there's oversight there. There's forgetting this. There's a competence of that, whether it's game design or tournament play or uh, announcements or rules updates. It just there's always seems to be them catching up on something that they forgot about or didn't think about.
All right. Should we go to the other side events we mentioned?
Yes. So
Battle Royals is more
side
valuable
events.
because of the prize.
The BRs, that'll be Extra Swords. There'll be a lot of good pricing in there. Try to uh, the BRs were $15 at Nationals, I believe. So try to set aside $30 a day to play a couple of BRs to
18 this time.
what's that?
Entries 18 this time.
Oh, is it 18?
Yeah, 18 this time.
Oh goodness. So set aside $36 a day. Oh goodness. I understand. It hurts. So yeah, 2 days if you go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I plan on
Mhm.
trying to do at least two a day. That's it's just easier to round up to 40. So 40, 80, 120, 160. I set aside $160 to play a couple of BRs because especially Sunday. Sunday, if you're going to play a BR, that's the day that you want to try to play it because they they don't want to carry the stuff back to the car. They don't want to take it back to
Mhm.
the warehouse, and so they shove prizes onto dealers. Like here's five swords, here's five X cards, uh,
Right.
draft it. So Sunday's the day where you want to at least play a couple.
It's more to ship them than create them, so let's
Mhm.
just give them out. I am not going to play any unless I get peer pressured into it. I'm not a big battle royale fan. I've never played one, but I could also see myself getting pressured into it if.
I will pressure you because I want to play with you and Jesse and a BR. Just hang out with you
Yeah.
guys. Uh, I've never got to play with Jesse, and somehow he has managed to be one of my favorite players.
Despite never meeting him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's what
Uh,
roped me into it.
uh,
Uh,
yeah.
Extreme Tarot. I mean,
Extreme Tarot. This one here just seems like it's 300 modern with an extra 100 points. Uh, the format for Extreme Tarot, 400 point modern team with no tarot cards. Every turn for each game, a judge will reveal a tarot card, which will apply for 2 turns. Your turn, the player's turn, and then it goes away. Uh, and there was a cap on this, I believe, of the number of players. I think it was 16. You have to go to the schedule. Let's see, Extreme Tarot. Is that Friday? Yeah, it says
I
right here, 16 players. So you're gonna have what 8 judges? I don't know. It just seems a little weird to have a
does seem a
judge
little
sit at the
weird.
table.
Not weird. It's extreme. Okay,
Yeah, it's extreme to have a
extreme.
judge because I mean turns can go by real slow and real fast, and you can't really game plan that as a player
Right.
or a judge. So having to wait on a judge to give you a tarot card just seems crazy.
So, like, people aren't as familiar with the tarot cards, so I'm curious if they're gonna like. If you don't have a devil in front of you, might be
Uh,
like, are they just gonna announce it? I'm not sure how that works. We'll see.
yeah, will it be
I'm getting there.
the Exosword storyline tarot cards? It just says a
Man,
tarot card.
more.
But yeah,
400 point modern is
uh,
400 points.
it just it's more aggro, more defense. But the pricing is pretty good for the winner. Everything else is not so much. Participation prize is the box Rogue that came out 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and the Rogue ID card, which came out 4 or 5 years ago. Then the top four is the Alondra that came out 3 years ago, and the winner also gets another Alondra.
Uh,
That seems like
it's the
a typo.
X-Men Exoswords Tarot card set.
So I'm guessing that's the main set, not the starter or the storyline.
Who knows, but that would be what I think. Either
Yeah,
way, that is a good prize to have.
yeah, it's and it's $20 right there. That seems pretty fair, just to get the Rogue ID and the Rogue prize, just to try out a super aggro game of Heroclix. I'm not gonna play on that one, just because the schedule for it, I wish you could have both open at the same time.
Hmm.
So that's on Friday, and that's at 10:30, and that's also the same time as Team Worlds. So I'll be playing on Team Worlds, and not that. But so I mean that I, I don't know. Uh, that's also the pricing for Team Worlds that they. Sorry, had to make a little fight there. Uh, they removed the design a figure for pricing for that. The pricing for teams is just okay, I think. It's pretty good, but it's a long day to get all that pricing.
I
Uh,
mean, again, I think that the fact that Marvel, uh, the Disney Plus factory set is insanely good. That's one of the most valuable factory sets you can get. And X of Swords factory set is like is up there as well. Um, the fact that those are the like, could you imagine if this was like, um, War of the Realms, or if War of the Realms and Empire were the were the factory sets you could win, that would, oh man, that would be bad.
I would be yeah. War of the Realms is not. It's not a great set for a lot of different reasons. It's a fine set. It's just that overall, I was just not impressed with it. It seems very bland. Empire, it's old enough now for a lot of people that most of it's already in your hands. You got the stuff that you want, except for probably the Venom Magneto. Uh, if you weren't lucky enough to pull that or get him before he got over to $200.
The
But
chases were okay for that set.
yeah,
Didn't that have Demon the Armor as well, which is,
yes, it did.
yeah, it's just the wasn't like this set has objects. I don't know if tarot cards are going to be included in the factory set.
It should. I mean, it's part of the set.
If that is the case, then this is a incredibly valuable prize. This is,
Yeah, just the tarot cards alone, because it's 31
yeah,
cards in the main set, and if you do the average price for the cards now, which is about $10 each, that's $310 at minimum just for the cards.
yeah. I don't get people that think that I've seen a lot of people meaning about Exoswords being not their favorite set, or like I get the chases aren't that good, but
No,
the
side tangent
blades
on chases, by the way.
cards. What's up?
Side tangent on chases. And a lot of people judge a set by the chases, uh, mostly because that's what you pay $180 on a break. You want to get a good chase, but it's not. If you go over like all the other sets on the chases, uh, Empire, that's an amazing set, but World of Realms, I don't think that had any good chases except for Rocket Raccoon. She,
Wow, that's the highlight. Oh man.
I mean, Shioko's okay, uh, but other than that, that's a bust. The Spider-Man chase is like 125 bucks, but that's it's not a good figure. It's not a top tier figure. It's a fine
Right.
figure. That's something I have to keep clarifying with other people. It's like, when I say it's not good, I'm saying it's not fighting for the best. It's a fun figure. I think it's a really neat figure, but I would never play that in a competitive tournament.
It's insane what is the the watermark for a S tier figure or even an A tier figure.
Yeah, they have to have so much
This
value.
Apocalypse though, I mean, if you're getting the legacy cards, that
Oh wow, legacy
so
cards as the
we
factory set?
so we doesn't that come with a factory
No,
set? Isn't
I
that
mean
part
it
of it?
should. It's part of the set.
Am I don't know. I've never actually gotten a factory set. I'm
Well, the
curious
what
on
do you
what
call
if you
it? Adventures Assemble, I believe it was, that had ID cards. Might have been another one. Uh, they came with the factory set that they got at Nationals. That had ID cards. Came with ID cards.
that was my impression. That was my impression from talking to people that actually have
So yeah, it makes
factory.
sense. The ID
So
cards,
like,
that Leech ID card, the almost all the ID cards, Unis, Leech, Apocalypse, Magneto, Iceman,
man,
Banshee.
people are
Um,
going crazy about that ice man. I don't get it.
they're living in the dream world where they think that they're gonna get three attacks with him, but he just dies so easily.
Yeah, okay, so this Apocalypse Legacy card is going on the high end for 90, and like the average seems to be about 70.
That's crazy to me.
Oh,
I feel pretty sad.
that is that might as well be a chase. Oh, and I've been playtesting with him. He is sick. He's legit. I'm a believer. I didn't start out a believer. I'm a believer.
I'm not a believer yet. I think he's just a fun piece. But have to listen to you, PJ, and Azrath, and all the other people that are great. If you guys say he's top tier, then I need to take another look at him. I think he's interesting. I think he's fun. It just he just seems to die like everything else to me.
It takes some. There are definitely teams that have the tool. There are just some teams that don't have the tools to kill him.
That's true.
Put it that way.
Hmm. Yes, there are. It's definitely a gatekeeper piece. I can see that for sure. Uh, there could be a lot of teams that just aren't equipped to deal with him. Thanos. I think that's the bar I'm setting up. That if my team can beat a Thanos team, I should be able to beat this guy. I know they play very differently, but Thanos is very hard to get to hold down, and to actually KO. Uh,
Thanos isn't a giant that can protect your entire team by standing behind them. So Apocalypse walks a few squares forward, and my squishies are in the back. Now Jubilee can't shoot over Apocalypse to get to my squishies.
mhm.
So that's one of the things I've been using him for. So it's not like it's not just that he's tanky. He's tanky and then blocks for he's a tank that's in front actually blocking for guys from being shot over by Jubilee.
Okay, yep, no, makes sense. Uh, my team's supposed to be close combat oriented, so I'll just walk right
Right.
past them. But he's not completely ignorable though. That eat range and Uh, that colossal reach with blades seems a little bit scary. But
Plus, he essentially has every support power in the game. His leadership, enhancement, prob, uh, assuming we're at the 100 point line,
yeah.
and power. And then he makes pogs with outwit and perplex. So that's like everything you need except for TK and barrier.
Mhm. And then
That's
you can
pretty
do
good
that
for
with
100 points.
you can do that with a model command and stay on thing. And then you could do that with I don't know. If you're going to try to make it then. Uh, there's Sakai and Iron Man with Warrior.
What does Molecumen team with him?
I thought they both had Cosmic.
Does he?
I assume he had the Cosmic Energy team ability.
You
Nope,
put
he
that on
does
a
not.
lot of people that are actually cosmic.
He
I
does
don't think
not.
they theme together.
What's that?
Yeah, I don't. They don't theme together.
Okay, they do nothing together. But I don't know if you play anything with this guy. Uh, the builds that I've heard about is Unthemed.
Fine.
And that's another interesting tangent to this tangent is that Unthemed is kind of pushing back to make itself an equal to theme.
Okay, maybe.
Well, I mean,
I
Unthemed
just think
made one
people.
nationals, and two Unthemed were in the top four. Did UK nationals win Unthemed? Or was it top two? No, Unthemed was Mystical, I believe, that won nationals over there.
Oh, the question of whether it's good and whether or not a lot of people are going to play it are two different questions, though.
Oh yeah, no. Uh,
I think
I
people
was
just
more.
don't like playing something.
I'm more. What it's getting. That's kind of what people do though. They kind of the masses they follow the trend, and if Untheme is starting to win, then and the other players are the top players are playing more and more Untheme stuff, then other players will also try to do Untheme. That's just kind of how it works. People ride the highs and the lows.
Okay,
Uh,
maybe we'll see. We'll see.
I, I I promise you, uh, someone, at least probably two, will copy Isaac's team because he won it with nationals, and it's a bunch of good stuff, and they should be able to do well with it as well. That's kind of how nut decking works. If you, I don't know if you are you have you ever nut decked before?
Like in Magic, yeah.
Well, also Heroclix, but yeah.
Um, so the only times I net deck, like, obviously, like I pay attention to what other players are doing. I try to be like, okay, Jim Jaspers and Apocalypse are the people to build around for this set. Armasa Blade's going to be a big factor. I try to build my own teams. Um, I net deck for practice, and sometimes like there's been events like Bradcast events where I've essentially been like I'm gonna I think I've net decked a few times there to like yeah just to you know make sure I'm playing the team right basically.
Yeah. I net deck
I'm familiar with the concept.
if I can't come up with a team of my own. If
Right. You play your own team against the established meta, and you're playing your own team until you can beat it. And if you can't find one, then you're like, well, screw it. I guess I'm playing that then.
pretty much. Like, I like this team. My team sucks right now. I've done that a couple of times. I did that with Lucas Van Holland earlier this year. I was trying to come up with a team of my own, and also did it with Jusafa. I was trying to come up with a team, and I stole Josafa's Micron double mega drop off team. It was
Mhm.
it was a lot of fun. and then people figured that one out, and I built a mystical recruiter team with Wendigos, but Lucas had made a better version, and I was like, well,
Mhm.
I was almost there, so I'll just play his.
Right. Right.
uh, uh, uh,
There's also a lot of okay, so there's way more convergent evolution than I think people give credit for. There's a lot of like it's just the obvious thing. Like I don't consider anyone to have created the Sicarian Iron Man Spider-Man family team.
no,
You
yeah,
know, that's just the obvious things that you put together. With some exceptions. There's some exceptions that are like they do have their own little spin on it, but for most part, it's just like you put the Marvella that gives him celebrity. You put him onto Spider-Man family. Like I'm talking when like okay, I think Molecule Man Flashes are the best pieces right now. So then need Leonardo da Venom. Like
yeah.
those type of teams, I don't consider anyone to have invented them because like that's just what it is. The
Well,
same
yeah.
thing with Collector Thanos. Like
Mm.
I mean, I guess Emily kind of won UK or Canadian nationals with it, but just like I started playing Collector Thanos the minute it came out, and whether you want to do it themed or unthemed, it's kind of the natural thing.
Yeah, that's something that also happens like human use, like that they wanted to be acknowledged for being an original or unique thing builder, and it's like there's only so many good pieces out there that just make sense. Um, like like you said, if you want things, you play Scarred Iron Man. You play Miles West, or you play was Miles West? No, it's
Cosmos
Leonardo
West
Venom
is
or Marvella, and then just kind of go from there. What else does the team need? You need a taxi, so you play Spider Pharaoh. You need a TK, so Spider Pharaoh pairs up with Venom Magneto, so then you go right there, and then it just kind of all falls together. That's also it, so the a few years ago, PJ did really well with a soldier team
Mhm.
that nationals or worlds. I wasn't paying attention at the time, uh, but he did that with the Foot Elite Boomerang guys. But he did really well with that. But I had made a similar team like the worlds before, but it was unthemed with boomerangs, and it was pretty good. But I didn't do well with it at the end of the day. That's kind of what happens. It's who is able to do well with the team first at the latest biggest tournament. Uh,
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of emphasis put on what are the winning figures, what are the winning like builds,
yeah,
and I think a lot of times like Corey did a win recently, and I just saw him because I see how much practice he puts in to gaming. He's one of the Eagles. He won a Pacific Northwest
mhm,
tournament not too long ago, and I'm like I think him grinding out games is what made him win rather than the build. Same thing with like I saw that the Canadian crew was was put in the work, and you don't you a lot of people just see the winning build and that's what they see, and they don't see the um, 8 in a row game sessions where people are just like perfecting their team, you know?
yeah. They don't. Uh, part of the uh, uh, process for to getting good and winning tournaments as putting in the practice, putting in the time. And there's a lot of different ways you can go about doing that to do the actual practice, to keep up with the tournaments that are happening by actually watching the games. Uh, you know, I feel like Me personally, I haven't actually got to play the last couple of months, but I still feel competent enough to perform well, just because I've been paying attention and judging, uh, and staying up to date. If you can, you know, put in the time in however way you can, or shape or form, it helps lay the groundwork to success. What's the phrase about luck or something? Opportunity and such and such. I forget. I always forget how that phrase goes. But it's all the boring stuff that you may not actually have time to do because of work or school or family or dating, or just
Hmm.
because you have other interests. Uh, like I've been neglecting the HeroClix stuff because I really, really wanted to watch a show called Steven Universe. I'm in love with that show. It's a really great show, by the way, Paul. You should watch it.
I've seen Student Universe.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah? Oh man, why didn't you tell me about it sooner?
it's been a while, but yeah.
It's such a great show. Excuse me.
Back when I had a girlfriend that cared about it,
Uh,
she
but
wasn't into that. Anyways,
sidetrack again. Side events, and I think that's
sidetracking the side events. So we were on Team Worlds, Silver Age. Oh my God. Think we have to talk about leech off the ID. I mean, is that's kind of meta defining, right?
it is because it's a bomb. It's a leech bomb. You you every team was geared or built to win, and leech will help you to win whatever tournament he comes out on. Like and you'll do your best to prevent that from happening with a winning map and winning barrier and some body blocking. But if you just have to be prepared to just lose, because there's only so much you can do to to stave off the leech bomb. But yeah, the leech ID card, the new legacy leech, you just you gotta figure. I'm pretty sure the team is what's her name, Captain America, that can take constant action after being carried, or Micron or Atom. Because
Yeah,
leech is
Adam
what, 25
Adam
points.
Scientist is what I'd be playing.
Yeah.
Adam Scientist is what I'm playing. Pretty much the same thing that I played for the last two silver events that I went to, and I won with those. Um, uh, Adam calling before it was Adam calling in another Flash. You can't do that anymore. So Flash copies Teen Lantern's Teen Lantern team ability. Flash double charges, carries the whole team, placed. He then puts the leech ID down because he can do that.
Mm.
And then you just need any attack after that, and you're golden. So Sakari and Iron Man can get the um, can close the distance and take a hypersonic and just
Mhm.
shoot from around the world. Then you rounded that out with Molecule Man, one of the best ways to clear out barrier, and that's what I'll be playing. Do you have a team for that?
I want to either do my old Krakoan Revival team or the
Hmm.
Mystical Recruiter team. I did pretty well with the Mystical Recruiter in Celery, just playing when it was 300 Modern. Uh, but I plan on playing Silver. But if it's not, if my team is just not prepared for it, I'm just going to drop and do the Exoswords storyline tournament. Because I have, what, 2 rounds by the looks of it to figure out if I stand a chance. Uh, but yeah, I have Leech, I have the ID card. Let me get the Legacy card and the figure. Uh, but I want to play my Wendigos again, and I want to play them with the tarot cards. where they can heal off of two two clicks with slow energy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
That just seems like fun.
You also sidestep for 3. That
Yeah,
that could be cool too.
very
All right.
mobile, very aggressive, uh, and they have exploit, so they could do the splash damage card as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Sure.
and
I'll make it.
the flurry card, if they miss with an attack, they can make another attack. They just all the cards. Uh, all the cards are very geared towards the Wendigos. The
Mhm.
sidestep, the exploit, the still energy. I don't know if there's a Battle Fury card, but
Yeah, the Battle Fury card is when you get hit, you get
uh,
Battle Fury.
that
Not,
doesn't help
it's
me
not.
out.
It's not
Oh,
when you
okay,
get.
I guess.
It's not after resolution. So, fun
But
fact. Um, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Um, not a good not a good way to mind control someone. Characters have Battle Fury until your next turn, even this character is not in play. So if you try to Scarab mind control someone or Thanos mind control someone, hit them, and then they gain Battle Fury, and so they're no longer mind controlled.
no, that's not true.
It's not?
No, there's not a duration on that. You
Why
have
is that
to.
Battle Fury?
Yeah,
If you gain Battle Fury at any time during the mind control should end.
no, it does not. There's I went over this with a couple of judges. And it does not end. Uh, you you have to resolve the attack. Uh, uh, it's I don't I'll show you the rule later. But
Okay.
if you hit them with a lasso or free mind control or whatever, and that tarot card is out in play uh, while you're doing the mind control, they get battle fury, but you have to finish resolving the attack. It has to do something with uh, the when it comes to battle fury and durations. Mind control has nothing to do with durations, and so that's something as to why you're allowed to finish resolving the mind control.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Still, I had to do
Yeah,
something
that
with
might
what's his
be
name?
really good then.
Uh,
Jason Lingard?
no, it had to do with that stupid Prime, Marvel. Someone was trying to mind control a figure, and the Marvel jumped into the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you would target him instead, but he somehow gets Battle Fury. Uh, during he had Battle Fury for some reason. And so it came up that I was like, no, he now becomes a target even if he has Battle Fury and such and such and such and such. It came up a couple. I don't know if it came up when tarot cards were first introduced. Maybe it was. I forget when, but it had something to do with Tyler Speeds. You had to ask the question, and I don't know
All
if this is private
right.
or not. Nah.
Well, this is getting too complicated for me, so
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just.
So yeah, but it's totally legal. I'll give you the rule of reasoning, and then if anyone else wants to know why, just message me and I'll tell you the same reason as to why it works.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, that's still a good card. Works with that. So back to Silver Age. Uh, the pricing for that is amazing. Uh, you get to qualify for Worlds, which you don't need a qualification for. So I mean, it's a nice bonus, but I almost rather just play the round one instead.
Some of those old man Hawkeyes and Avengers, uh, Phoenix, those sell for well. The finalist gets a Ace Prime set. That's cool. Top
Uh,
8 gets the can Hawkeye, and seems
and
good.
the prices will continue to drop as the weekend goes too, by the way. Uh,
Mhm.
by the week and the month after, a lot of these prices will drop and drop and drop. So you need to sell them as soon as you can, and if you need to wait as long as you can to buy them, just because that's just how it goes. Uh, because how I used to be admin for international exchange, and it happened every set and every tournament convention. Is that people would sell at the highest price that they could, but then someone would undercut them by $5 or $10, and then someone would undercut them by $5 or $10, and by the end of the month, because people are just trying to make up the money that they lost for going to Worlds or Nationals or whatever tournament, the prices start to go to such a low cost
Makes
settle.
sense.
So that's you sell them as quick as you can, and if you can wait, it's better for your wallet. But no, I'm still not happy about the overall pricing for Team
Mm.
Seal. Uh, the Chase Prime set's cool for Disney Plus and accessories. I think it should have been a factory set for those. Just because, it's.
Wait. Well, for Team Sealed?
I'm sorry. For Silver Ridge, I think those should have been.
Oh, wait.
I think those should have been factory set for the winners.
Well, it is only a $10 entry.
For Silver, yeah, I guess.
So you get the Chase Prime set if you win it. $10 entry.
Yeah, and it is
It's like the win the
Thursday.
map prices.
Yeah, okay. I guess you twisted my arm. It's not horrible for $10. It's just that it's Silver
The
Ridge.
finalist gets a Chase Prime set from Disney. Oh, okay.
I think that's supposed to be top four, where it says finalist.
Yeah, it's weird. It says top 8 finalist and winner. No, well, finalist is top 2.
It's actually it's okay, top two. So top four gets nothing.
This is weird. I don't know. Maybe.
More oversights. That's it feels very rushed. They've had a whole year.
I'm curious, how many people actually participate in this?
On Thursday,
$10 entry, and the finalists get a Disney Plus Chase Prime set. Those Disney Plus had like the best chase set outside of possibly Wonder Woman. It's pretty sick.
the that's probably fair to say. Next to Spider-Man, in my opinion.
So is there anything else to expect from Silver Age other than I would be afraid to play anything? I would be afraid to play anything that's like insanely a tentpole. Basically, I'm not playing Thanos there. I'm playing a swarm team that can call in either East or um,
With,
Leech,
with
or that has a
tarot
Dario
cards, I don't
Agnew.
know. Tarot cards adds a whole new kink to the machine. Uh,
Silver plus Tarot, yeah. I mean, I
like
think Adam is the biggest. Groot is obviously gonna be huge.
Groot,
Groot, since Silver,
the colossal Italian. Why do you say that?
yeah, one of the best. He's just so good for 20 points.
Sure. Colossal Italian leadership, block maker. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
good. He's been able to withstand the test of time.
right.
Uh,
I'm thinking like, what is gonna be like a what separates this from modern. I mean, trouble alerts and troublemakers are.
Uh,
That also makes me feel like it's going to be more of an aggro thing because those are kind of win more mechanics.
yeah, and that's also why I'm ready to just dip out after round two. You go play in the X of Swords event.
If you're not doing well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, all right. I didn't bring my troublemakers or trouble alerts. I don't have the right ID card call-ins for those. And my tarot cards aren't helping me like
Go to
I
the
need them
mooching
to.
house. Go to the mooching house. Find some.
No, I can, but I plan on doing it for sure. I will borrow whatever I want to. I will steal whatever I need to, and I'll buy whatever I have to. But it's more like it that I prepare it. That I get the right troublemakers for my team. That I get the right Collins and right tarot cards. I'll get whatever I need. I have no problem borrowing stuff. Uh,
So it sounds like you're playing all of it. You're playing two battle royales a day. You're planning to play the Silver Age at the start, and if you're not doing well, then you go to play the slog.
yep.
You're planning to play the Pauper and the main event. You're just
Well,
going to be back to back
I,
all the
I'm
time.
yeah. I want to get my money's worth. I'm spending a lot of money. I'm seeing so many people I've never got to meet before, or haven't seen in
Mhm.
forever. I plan on being super high, super drunk, and uh, I'm gonna have the best time that I
Not
can.
legal there, okay? Right?
Is it not legal there? I will not be super high. Uh,
In
I,
in California, I'll consume all of it before the plane ride, where it is legal. Absolutely.
and have it last for 4 days. Oh man, that's a lot.
Yeah. Oh,
But
good stuff.
oh man, that's quite a trip if it lasts for 4 days. I don't know if you'll remember me. But no, that's something you said. Will there be how much participation will there be for the Silver Ridge event? I don't think there will be. I don't think it'll fill up just because it also goes with the X of Swords stuff, the storyline, and also the
Right.
BRs. Because it's going to be a super aggro and we expect it to be super aggro. That's probably not what some people are going to go there for. Don't want to deal with that. So they will do the accessories or the BRs. Uh, and uh, there's a there's a cap of 64, so I don't think it'll fill up. Most people, I find, just prefer to show up for Team Seal and the 300 modern singles.
Mhm.
So it'd be Friday, Saturday, and they, interesting enough, I have found that some people that participate in the singles, uh, they 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 play and hope to make it to Top Cat, but for some reason they schedule their flight to leave right when Top Cat is ending. So,
Right.
like you
Right.
still have to fly to the airport and you still have to go through the process. Did you? What was the plan there? Uh, but yeah,
I think we even have our hotel room through that Sunday. Like, I think we're planning to have some dinner, uh, pay the extra day at the hotel, and then
uh,
fly back like early morning or something like that.
was there a big difference in the price jump for the extra day?
Um, big no, the difference is the extra hotel day.
Yeah, I was you staying Sunday night, right?
Yeah, I think we are.
I was just wondering
That's
if there was a big price bump because the block only goes through Saturday night, Sunday morning.
oh well,
Uh,
maybe we didn't. I don't know. Shit.
someone else take care of that. But yeah,
I think there is right. That's right. That's right. We get the extra day, so that would be a price bump. Yes, you are correct.
yeah, I'm still on the fence. I plan to just stay at a cheap hotel or motel on Sunday night after it was all over, and then drive back. But I still need to figure out my travel plans. I'm going to be driving. Just need to figure out if someone's going to ride with me, and when I'm leaving and when I'm coming back. Because I wanted to leave Tuesday and just kind of hang out Wednesday and just kind of see the sights a little bit. Take my time getting there and then take my time getting back. Because I like road trips. I think they're fun. Uh, I like going to those hole in the wall gas stations and getting those fried burritos. Uh, I think those are delicious. Whether they're fresh or
It
they're
is.
5 hours old, I think they're pretty good.
So yeah, I mean, we're going for Memphis barbecue. That's what we're hoping to do because we're
Yeah,
also going.
and
We're going with our dad. Our dad is actually going not to play HeroClix, just to be seeing like blues music and having uh, barbecue and stuff. So he's gonna, and then we're also gonna like have dinner with him as well one of the nights and like catch up and be like, how did your day go? How did your day go? That kind of stuff.
yeah,
So there's yeah, we said we're going to Memphis, and he's like, I want to go to Memphis. I just want. He's just having a vacation.
that's awesome. I think that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
that's cool. But yeah, so yeah, it should be. I'm more of like I'm going to go to do the team sealed and the singles event, and then I'd be thrilled if I happen to have time to do uh, any of the side events. The side events are interesting to me, except for BRs. BRs. If you see me on a BR, like I said, someone's probably wrote me into it rather than me
Yeah, I'll buy you one. I
really
just want to hang out with you. I'll pay for
enthusiastic.
your time.
Exactly. That too. That I just want to hang out with you. With there's so many people that I have spent a lot of times, a lot of Fridays here, and sometimes in some cases before that, like when it was Friday nights for Majestics. Majestics was doing online for a little while,
Oh
or
yeah,
some other online events, or just practicing with them. But like, oh, I wanna see the people. I wanna see it in fright. We have planned as if we are going to win it all. As far as timing goes,
hmm,
like expectation wise. But between me and my brother, we feel like we put in some good practice, and like it's not an insane thought for us to go deep. Um, Probably won't, but it's not insane. Um, no, so we just budgeted for the best case scenario, basically, time wise, not money wise. Yeah. Oh, and Popper. Okay, we didn't say Popper yet.
sorry, my headset died there for a second.
Okay.
So let's go through it real quick. So we have let's go through the schedule so that we don't miss anything. So Thursday, the 2 o'clock, you can sign up for the storyline or the or play BRs at 3 o'clock. There's a qualifier, a 300 modern qualifier at 5 o'clock.
I'll
Uh,
be playing those if I can because I just for that's practice for
mhm.
the main event, in my opinion.
Same here. If like I have contingencies. If I'm not doing well in the storyline thing, I want to go do a qualifier. Like if I'm not gonna
Mm.
get first place or get that $500 apocalypse, I want to get practice in for the qualifier. Uh, and then after the qualifier, which I assume would be 3 to 4 rounds of just Swiss, because that's usually how it goes. It's 3 to 5 rounds usually for a qualifier, and then it's
Mhm.
usually the top half or the top number of people to qualify. Then afterwards, get another battle royal or two in. But I think we might just do dinner with some people to catch up with everybody that came in, because that's mostly when other people will be coming in. They'll be coming in to stay on Thursday night, get ready for Friday. So yeah, the qualifier I believe is $5 to participate, and there's participation pricing for that.
Mhm.
Let's see, Friday. You sign up for Team Worlds.
Yes.
There's also uh, sign up for Team Worlds at 9 or 10 o'clock. You open your boosters, and then at the same time Team Worlds is happening. There's Extreme Tarot scenario, which I definitely won't get a chance to even think about trying to do that because it happens 30 minutes after Team Sealed starts.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll be doing that.
but at 2 o'clock is when the X of Swords storyline starts. And if you'll note, there's no cap listed next to it. Might be an oversight, hopefully not. But that starts at 2 o'clock, and you should know by 2 o'clock if you are going to be able to make top cut to get that good pricing. But if you're not, then check out the storyline event. And then at 5 o'clock, so yeah, by 5 o'clock, there's another qualifier happening. And that should happen right as when the storyline event is ending. So you could probably do both. And that's more practice for Saturday. At 6 o'clock is the Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy scenario, which has a cap of 32 players. I don't think we talked about that, have we?
If not.
Uh, Probably not going to be able to play in that one either. Because even if I already qualified, unless they disallow me to participate, I definitely want to get as much practice with my team as possible, and would rather do the qualifier. But I
Yeah.
do have a team just in case I get burnt out. I did talk about that earlier about like if you just don't want to do X Swords storyline, or if you get burnt out on doing 300 meta, there's the side events for Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, and Spy. That's a mouthful. Uh, I built a team for this one, and it kind of correlates to what you said earlier about uh, being an original team builder. Uh, this particular build sounds fun or casual at face value, but here's the format. Bring a 400-point modern team with no tarot cards or sideline, but must include one character with each of these keywords. No character may count for two of those keywords. And it's scientist, celebrity, spy, soldier. Three of those keywords are super meta. Scientist, celebrity, and soldier. Uh, and spy has good characters with that keyword. My I have an easy mode team for that format. It's just you pick the best figures for that format, and then that's just it all kind of falls into place. So my team was the super rare Flash, Spider-Man 1776
Mhm.
for Scientist and Soldier. You have Sakai and Iron Man for another.
Celebrity.
What's that?
Scientist or celebrity.
Yeah, Scientist or Celebrity. Then we have the Prime Captain Carter, because I'm not going to have a sideline, so there's no point in playing Jim Jaspers or Destroyer. Uh, so I'll play her at full. And since it's just easy to make a thing with all this. I have Leonardo da Venom for Scientist for The Flash and Sakari and Iron Man, and then I had like another 120 points left. So I added another Flash, and Mala came in, and I wanted the taxi, so I picked Green Lantern, super rare, and then Mardella just to have some barrier to go with Mala Man, and then Mary Jane Watson on Cloak of Levitation. That those are all you can't argue with any of these figures as being a tier one or tier A, or except for maybe Leonardo da Vinci. Everything else on this team is just easy piece. I actually own all these figures, uh, and I just want to be able to play with them because it's fun. And that's something that you and I had talked about before, Paul. For those fun formats, those casual formats, where like I think these figures are fun. I own all these figures. Let's go play in this fun casual format. And then you show up, and then everybody else shows up with Doctor Psycho and Zeus and Nemesis. And, I don't know, just they built what they thought was a fun team, and then my team just kind of steamrolls their team. Uh, it just
Right.
that's not fun for them. It's not fun for me because they're not having fun. Uh, I feel like this.
How casual is casual, and how much is like is playing down is like the I never like that dance.
Yeah,
That's why I gravitate towards either sealed or competitive or
this is at Worlds, and the pricing is really good. So I kind of, if I'm going to play, I kind of want to win the pricing. So I will play with what I think is really good and also really fun. And but because of the this awkward feel bad because they don't like my team, it kind of makes me not want to play the format. Even though it's at Worlds, it's good pricing. Uh, just I have a feeling that someone there will bring something that's not considered the best pieces. Yeah, just they will feel bad and want to make me feel bad. Or maybe they won't want to make me feel bad. They they feel so bad that I feel bad. It's just uh, all these side events are super interesting, but I it kind of feels like a trap a little bit. That if I'm building to win, I might run into somebody that is building for quote unquote fun.
yeah.
Uh,
Uh, we'll see. Yeah, I hear that. I'll probably build around like Winter Soldier and Sam Cap Falcon, as one's a spy and one's a soldier. Um,
uh, the chase Cap Falcon
yeah,
or the super rare
super rare Winter Soldier,
and super rare Falcon or
Chase Falcon.
yeah. That chase Falcon is getting kind of interesting for me with tarot cards, by the way.
Yeah, he's good.
The uh, the tarot card that allows you to knock back for six instead of three. That seems like it
Yeah.
would be fun to play with him. To do that, the kill box thing that people always seem to talk about with him.
Right, so I think it was like Wanda is an Avengers team with like Wanda is my celebrity, Sicarian Iron Man's my scientist, and then Spy and Soldier are Captain and Falcon. But this is like I'm not looking to play this format, but if the right people seem to happen to be playing, I will be doing that. Uh,
But yeah, it's there. Just in case I feel like I might want to try it out. It is really good pricing.
the
Uh,
Spider-Man and John Constantine prize figures.
the yeah, the I think the Spider Man's pretty fun. The Constantine looks kind of neat.
Love that Constantine.
You know,
Right.
I was gonna try to, if I want worlds, John Constantine, or I'm sorry, John Constantine is how it's supposed to be pronounced, in case you didn't know. Uh, it's awful. That's not the preferred way to pronounce it. But I was gonna pick John Constantine, just because it had been so long, and there was no ID card to go with him. The way that ID cards worked. Uh, because it has to match the front of the name of the card.
Mhm.
Or Swamp Thing was also going to be another one.
Yep.
I wanted to pick figures that haven't been made in a long while to play with ID cards, or pick a character uh, that has never been made for a con exclusive. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
I don't know what the limitations are for some of those things. Like, I would love to get the especially now that the Sandman series is out. I'd love to get some of those characters, but I'm not sure if they're really
so as
available.
far as I know, you pick an X amount of figures, either it's 3, 5, or 10. I forget what it was, and you prioritize which one you want made, and then they pick that one, and then you start designing the figure the way you want to. That's why Scott Crampton, when he won Worlds or whatever it was, when he picked his figure, he picked a bunch of figures that were technically in the comics, but were almost never likely to get made. Like one of them was Hitler. Uh,
Mhm.
Another one was zombie vampire Abraham Lincoln, I think it was. One the other one was that I think it was that cocaine superhero. I forget what his name was.
Mhm.
And then the actual figure that Scott wanted to kind of force Wizkids England. It's like, well, this is my list. I guess you have to make my clock king now, and that's why Wizkids hate Scott. Uh,
Yeah.
but generally speaking, you make your list and then you get to pick from it. My five figures that you could realistically make would be Doctor Manhattan, Galactus, because I think it would be cool to get like a single base Galactus. I really want to see that. I think it would be really cute.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, and uh, who else is on the list? I wanted to pick just that obscure figure uh, for the other two, just because never seen it before. But I don't really read comics a whole lot, so uh, if I were to pick like a personal favorite, it would be the Scarlet Spider, Ben Riley.
Mhm.
I think he would be cool. Uh, and there was something one the other day I thought about. I forget who
And
it
James
was.
Gunn is making a lot of DC obscure figures very popular right now, and
Yeah,
I feel like that would be the way to piggyback off of his success is to a vigilante character, a figure, or a polka dot man. Like people would go crazy for a rat catcher to polka. Like seems like that's the way to go
I
for getting
never heard of that guy. He said Ratcatcher.
rat catcher too. It's a girl.
Ratcatcher 2.
Suicide Squad.
Oh, is that that rat dude or girl? Like that ugly rat thing that was in Suicide Squad? Oh god, that
No,
was so
I
ugly.
wouldn't say she's ugly at all.
Oh,
That's Weasel that you're talking about.
oh okay.
Um, the Ratcatcher 2 is a pretty girl that's got some dirt on her because and falls asleep all the time in Suicide Squad.
Hey, that sounds familiar, but yeah, okay, okay, I gotcha. Uh, but just that I would want to pick like colossal figures to be made into single base figures.
Hmm.
Just because I one of my favorite sets was Pacific Rim, and I loved
Oh,
having those little colossals uh, on single bases. I thought they were adorable
it's
and cool.
weird. All
uh,
right, so
so
moving
yeah,
on to
so let's go back to the schedule real quick. Where's that at?
Mhm.
So we went to Team Seal on Friday. Then we did the Extreme Terror scenario, the storyline for that, then the qualifier, and then uh, we did the Tinker Tailor Soldier.
Mhm.
Did we? Oh, actually, that's 6 o'clock. So, and then if I have time, I'll try to do another BR or two after the qualifier,
Mhm.
uh, while being super
Um,
inebriated,
right.
uh,
Mhm.
uh, doped up, or whatever. Whatever is the legal word. So Saturday is the day I think that 90% of the people will be there for. It's 300 modern singles. We You have to get there early. The registration starts at 9, so you probably want to get there at like 8:30. Uh,
Mhm.
or even earlier if you want to be one of the first people.
Even if
Uh,
you have the buy, you still register.
so yeah, that's still have to show up and register. Uh,
A lot of people are going to have the first round buy. That's
uh,
just
God.
the format that it is.
Well, I'm scared that people will show up for round two and didn't register. I'm so scared it's gonna happen. Uh,
Uh, that
that
would
that
suck.
that would suck so bad. We need to get clarification on the first round buy. If it's supposed to be on the tournament, I think it said the tournament resources. I think their
Mhm.
buy is clarified at 150 points. I'll have to go to the tournament rules resources then. Let's see here. Heroclix tournament rules. Go into my word finder and then go to buy. Buy. Here we go. Uh, a buy is issued when there are an odd number of players in a Swiss event. A buy is considered a win. First round buys are assigned randomly. In subsequent rounds, the buy is given to the lowest ranked player who has not already received a buy. The buy player receives a win for the round and will score a half the build total points, which is typically 150 points. So that's their tournament rules for what a buy is supposed to be. But that's only for if there's odd number of players, not for a first round buy as a win, as a qualification. So that seems like two different things if you really want to dig into it. Uh, I think a buy should be, if you qualify for a buy, it should be 300 points. That's my personal opinion. Uh, just because games are won and lost by 5, 10, 15 points, and getting 150 points for a free win sounds nice, but you could lose because someone scored an extra 5, 10 points. And
Yeah.
the
I
but
mean, I'd still just take the buy. That's just what I'm gonna do.
Also, it's if you were to lose in a round of Heroclix in a tournament, it is typically better to lose in the first round, because now you're fighting your way back up, and you're fighting players that are getting knocked down. And typically, you have better matches. I have found when you're fighting your way up instead of fighting your way down. Just That's the only reason why I do it. Just because I feel like fate is in my hands a little bit more
Mhm.
by being to play for myself. Uh, Getting a win is huge in the first round. but not getting enough points feels like it would feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, I, I just I just take the bye, and it's gonna be a
Uh,
long enough day. I don't want to make it
yeah,
one longer.
that is the only reason why I'm considering to buy. Because if we get enough people, since they kind of own the venue, not they don't actually own the venue, but they're there. Uh, they can set the time as long as they need to have enough rounds to set aside for top cut. That that's something that you have to take into consideration. If they have over 128 players, they need to have a minimum of 5 or 6 rounds, and maybe even 7 rounds of Swiss. Uh, because by the math of it, with over 128 players, if you do 6 rounds and then do a top 32, or uh, or 6 rounds with the top 16, or 5 rounds with the top 32, it, time-wise, there's really no difference. It's still going to be 11 rounds, and if there are more people there, it might end up being 12 rounds. And playing 12 rounds of HeroClix in a competitive format is exhausting.
Yeah,
Super.
and I mean, we won't know until we get there and see how many people have signed up.
Yep.
We won't know how many rounds there are. That's why I want an hour, or 15 minutes, whatever it is, of trying to set my expectations and scoping the field out. I'd rather do that than to play a game of HeroClix. That's why I will be using my first round bye, which I have from winning a WKO like what seems like 50 years ago.
They You don't qualify on a WKO, I don't think, right?
You get enough points to, and I did get enough. I have enough.
You don't get points on WKOs.
All right, well, whatever I got enough points from, whether it's win a maps or whatever.
Okay, yeah, you
I
get WK points from rock tournament. So yeah, the uh, so yeah, I I technically do not have enough points right now. I'm at 44 points, which is weird. But back in 2019 Nationals, I was entered to play 2019 Nationals. Uh,
Mhm.
uh, um, I didn't go. I wasn't there. I wasn't in Indiana or Gen Con or wherever it was, Origins, I think it was. I was in Texas. Uh, and so they spent my 100 points at Nationals. And I didn't care because I was taking a break and whatever. But now that I am going to Worlds, I kind of would like the 100 points back. Uh, it's
Yeah.
because if I don't qualify with the qualifiers, if I don't qualify with the side events, I have to go do the first round, and I would like to have
That's
the
not the end of
choice.
the world, though.
Yeah,
That's not the end of the world if you have to do the first round. That's
no,
that's
it's
that's
not. Uh, well, it might be end of the world's tournament if I lose in the first round. Uh, but yeah, I would if I'm doing all this stuff on Thursday and Friday, I might want to actually get that first round by just to have a little bit of time to breathe.
Yep, exactly that.
So yeah, the 300 modern tournament starts at 10 o'clock. Let's see here, and then the
It's the
Terror.
Popper event. You didn't mention the Popper event.
The Popper event has not happened yet, right? The Popper
That's
event
after
happened.
the world.
Let's see.
Really?
Let's see here. Let's Popper. Friday. Let me do my word finder because I'm not seeing it proper. Yeah, spell proper right. The proper is on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
proper
I'm
will be
on.
happening during Top Cut.
Oh, so it's if you don't make the top cut, you can go do the pop it thing. Okay.
Yep. Or you can do the X and Sword storyline event. They're doing it every single day, I think, except for Thursday. Is that right? No, no, I think they're doing it every single day. So you got Thursday at 3 for the storyline. Then on Friday, let's see here. Friday at 2, and Saturday at 2, and then Sunday at 10. So they seem to have it
Yeah,
scheduled on
that makes sense.
to after Team Sealed and World 300 singles. That if you're not doing well, you can decide to drop and go do the storyline instead. You should know after 4 rounds, or by the end of the third round, depending on how slow it takes everything to get started and all that
Yeah.
jazz, that you're going to be making top cut. Well, not if it's 6 rounds. If it's 6 rounds of Swiss, you won't know. Well, I mean, you might have an idea. If you go 0 and 3 with 0 points, you should probably drop.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
Uh, and it's not to say that you should drop because you suck or anything, but you might have more fun and success trying out the storyline event or the other side event tournaments.
Hmm. Cool.
So yeah, Saturday is singles. It starts at 10. The storyline starts at 2. Uh, that's pretty much it. The rest of the day on Saturday, you continue to do BRs. Pretty sure that we'll be celebrating whoever made top cut that night. But more than likely, that celebration will be helping them practice because that's what you do. You after you play all day, you go back to your hotel and practice some more for a top cut.
Talk
Uh,
about the teams that you didn't expect to see. They're like, oh my god, triple apocalypse. What am I gonna do about that? Oh no,
Full point
future
apocalypse,
apocalypse.
or full point Unimind. Uh, that
Yeah, I
might
know.
be
I
it.
know exactly what I'll do for the ball point.
Wreck
That's
it.
yeah. I'm gonna wreck it.
Me too. That's Unimind does not want to face my team. Uh, yeah, let's.
You're settled on your team, right? You're
No,
going with that.
I'm
Okay.
still. I am leaning towards my team. I want to be settled on it just so I can. But I've only had 2 actual games of practice with it. I really hope I get to play tomorrow night because I would like to get more games on to see if this is the team I'm working on. It's more about the
Hmm.
last 15 points than anything, or
Gotcha.
about 20 points actually. Whether it's a Marvella or the all black Necrosword to have an equipment to swap around with, what's his name? Jim Jaspers.
DJ.
Uh, yeah, the Empower is really big for the team, having the extra Empower. Also, the Baron. The barrier is not necessary with Jimmy J and Molecule Man. But she's
The sidestep Green Lantern team
yeah,
ability. That's nice.
sidestep Green Lantern team ability is huge. Getting the shield TA is huge. Uh, I haven't got to try out the Necrosword yet, but it's something I want to try to see if which one has more value in what I'm playing against because there's not really a wrong option between the two. It's just which one feels better at the time. And it's probably going to happen all the way up to Saturday, actually. Do I play with Marvel? Do I play with Necrosword? You know, it's going to be a big back and forth until all the way up until the final day, I believe. And then Sunday is Top Cat. Top Cat begins and it ends at 2. It's only allowing uh, 5 hours to play because it says at 2 o'clock the signups end, and if the signups end at 2 o'clock, that means that it should be wrapping up by 3 o'clock. So you have 5 hours to play Top Cat, which would be either 4 rounds or 5 rounds. And if it's 4 rounds, that's what 2, 4, 8, 16, or 32. More than likely, they'll do a top 16, but uh, I wouldn't be mad with the top 32. Hopefully, Wizkids is a little bit flexible on that as well.
I mean, let's be honest. We don't know how many people are showing up. We
It's
don't
true.
know.
It could be 80
Could be
people.
60. Could be 160.
It could be over 200.
Could be over 200.
It's been like 10 or 15 years since I've had over 200 people for 300 singles. But, there's a lot of new players that are coming into it. There's a lot of buzz going on. There's a lot of good prizing at this tournament. It's at a good location for most people over on that side of the country where there's a lot of play. And, there's some people might come back just to try it out again. Yep. But so that
There's some
is,
people from the Pacific Northwest actually coming.
yep,
Or the California actually coming. The West Coast.
West Coast guys, you West Coasters.
West Coast guys represent.
Let's see if you guys can steal from the East Coast guys or the Gulf Coast.
Yo from the East Coast guys?
Yeah, steal the win.
Oh, yeah.
The
Um,
2019 Worlds was won by East Coast guy, I think, right? That was Adam Friedman. Was that Isaac? I think that was Isaac. Yeah, it was Isaac. Adam Friedman, I think, was 2018. 2017 was Tyler. 2016 was somebody else. But yeah, anyway. So that is all the side events. I plan on playing all the days, all the time. It should be a lot of fun. So save up your money, get all the rest you can. Try not to stress out about it. Everybody is there to have fun. Well, almost everybody. There's probably some people there to ruin some people's fun. I don't know, some people like doing that. Uh, uh, but for the most part, it should be a welcoming, inviting environment. And if you see me, come say hi to me. I will want to see everybody. I will take pictures of everybody. I'll have my GoPro camera on me at all times, just recording everything going on. But we've been chatting for quite a while, Paul.
yeah.
I think we
I
should
got no.
wrap it up right here. Any final thoughts you want to share before we close it out for the night?
I'm just glad the side events are interesting to me. In case I don't do well, I can try to still get some fun in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. I mean, like I said, like if it was Regenesis instead of Exoswords, I would I'd be a
Just
little more hesitant to go do those side events.
all right.
And that's the only one. So good times.
Final thoughts for me. I just want to have a good time. Meet a lot of people. Meet some old friends and make some new friends. All right. Well, everybody, y'all have a good night. Hey, Paul. Say good night to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Pork chop sandwiches. Oh shit! Get the fuck out of here! What are you doing? Go! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot! Fuck, we're all dead! Get the fuck out!